You might be losing business from your website right now as you watch this video. Let me explain. You see, when we are new freelancers or consultants, the single most powerful thing you can do is to really refine the niche and the target market that you work with, so you can stop competing with everybody else in your field. If you don't do this, you're going to ultimately feel like you're stabbing in the dark with your marketing program and you're not getting anywhere. Business isn't going to grow as quickly as it could, and it's one of the main reasons why new freelancers struggle to get clients or that freelancers give up and take day jobs again. Trust me, I know because I did it multiple times. I didn't know who my clients were, much less how to reach them or how to talk to them. So here's what I mean. Let's say for illustration purposes that you're an event planner and you can really do any type of event, but you don't know who your ideal client is, so you just put event planning and a list of type of events on your websites. This is pretty common. I hope you're not cringing yet. But so let's say as an event planner, you've got that website and then you spend a bunch of time marketing yourself and you put all of this effort in and you're getting tons of traffic. Google Analytics says that there's lots of people coming to your website, but nobody's calling you or booking an appointment. Here's why. Let's say that a big client clicks through one of your promotions and comes to your website. Let's say it's a planner at a Fortune 500 company. They land on your website and they see this laundry list of events, and for whatever reason, they hone in on the fact that you do intimate engagements or birthday parties or weddings, whatever it is, and they think that you are way too small a fry for you to manage their annual gala, and they take off looking for somebody bigger. At the same time, a local client, let's say a mother looking for help with a bat mitzvah, comes onto your site, and she sees that you do corporate events and all-inclusive retreats. And in her mind, that's like super posh and way out of her budget. So she doesn't even bother asking for a quote. Do you see what I mean? When potential clients come to your website and you're not speaking their language, it's going to be unclear to them what you do, and they're going to take off looking for an alternate solution. You want your website and your online brand presence in general to reflect you as the Goldilocks of whatever it is you do. You want to be just right for that perfect client. You want your potential clients to instantly know that you are the solution to the problem. So I've got two goals for this video today that you're watching right now. Number one is to share some quick things that you can start working on today to improve the success of your existing website, or things to keep in mind if you don't have a website yet. And number two is just to get you excited about what we're going to learn in our class together. So in just a moment, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of the website that I used to grow my business to 6 figures and some of the tricks that I used in order to convert visitors into leads. All right, so I think I'm all situated here. As you can see, this is my website. It's a tiny bit dated now, as this was built about 3 years ago. That was the year that I flipped the switch on freelancing, and I really started to earn really good money working part-time from my living room in Savannah, Georgia. Of course, it wasn't entirely this website that brought in all of that money, but it had a lot to do with it. And I'm going to explain more in the web training. So just bear with me for now. This is kind of just a little primer of some things that you can do that are going to make some big differences. So before I launched this site, I had a typical WordPress portfolio with lots of like artwork and like one of those banner things, and then a bunch of case studies and, really gorgeous online resume and a blog, all of the things that really were focused and taught on in design school in order to show our talents. And whether or not you're a designer, you've probably got something similar going on. It's just chances are that you've hired a designer that learned the same bad habits, or you copied, what everybody else was doing. And those portfolios can be really effective for getting you work if you're going out as a job hunt. They're not as effective if you want to run a business. Does that make sense? So anyway, as you can see, it's just a basic site. For all intents and purposes, it's a single page. There are some links to more content, particularly these images used to open up into case studies. They don't anymore because they don't really use this site a whole lot. But I will tell you, based on the analytics, people rarely clicked. Like, just people don't click through. We want to read. We want instant gratification. So that's rule number one for you in terms of making a great selling website, is you want to make it really, really easy to find the most important information. I suggest starting with a single page website for your business and adding pages only if you really need them. So instead of multiple pages, have one long scrolling page with the different sections. So I'm going to run through these sections really quickly and talk about why they're important. So first, we've got this top section here with the call to action. You want your call to action to be immediately clear what you do and who you do it for in a benefits-driven manner. So here we have killer design for startups, from branding and websites that convert to comprehensive web package, blah, 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 blah. It allows you to focus on your business. That's the benefit, right? You want to make it really, really powerful and benefits-driven. Next, I've got that laundry list of skills to some extent, and I will be fully transparent here. That's on there primarily for SEO. It's about 80% of the reason that it's there, but it does serve another purpose, and that is to do exactly what I talked about before I was sharing my screen, in that it weeds out people that are not my clients. So when I decided to start this particular freelance business, I knew I wanted to work on startups and I wanted to work on more of the tech stuff. So by using tech-based terms, I weeded out anybody that was a mom and pop shop that isn't going to know what web development means. They're not going to know what UX means because they're not my client. So I would repel the clients that would take up a lot of my time previously because they weren't really who I wanted to work with, by using terms that didn't work for them. Next, you want a section where you really talk about the results that you get for your clients, or the results that your clients get from working from you. And in this section, you want to use numbers and dollar signs as much as possible. You want your results to be tangible. Also, numbers and percent signs, things like that, they really jump out and they grab a user's eyes. So somebody's more likely to read them. I've also got here some logos, and people love logos. It's a little bit of social proof. And so if you've worked with some big name brands, or you've gotten some press in some great sites, use logos to add social proof to your website. Next, there's the testimonial. Bonus points if it's a really great testimonial, more bonus points if it's from somebody that has a really awesome job title. Finally, down here, we've got packages. And, I highly recommend that you create packages for your services regardless of the business. Give them a small, a medium, and a large option to choose from. You are the expert when you are a freelancer and you're building a brand. And so you want to tell them what they need, right? Clients are going to come to you and they're not going to know what they need. They're not going to know if they need, a website or product design, or if they just need one page of copy or a whole website. Tell them, guide them through it. Adding prices here is a little controversial, but it can save you a lot of time by, again, repelling some of the clients that are going to eat up your time if you're a high-end consultant. You don't want to spend all of your time having consultations with people that are going to balk at your prices. So you can put some starting prices on there. Now, if you're brand new to freelancing and you really just need to get some business in the door, you need to get some practice, leave the prices off, wait till you're a little further along, and then you can practice your skills of converting people. But when you're busier and you want to live the more location-independent free lifestyle, right, and you want to work part-time at high rates, you can do this, and you'll start attracting higher-end clients. So this here is the only portfolio section, quote unquote, that I really have. It's 5 pieces, 5 images really, and then again, some more benefits-driven text. It's really important that you learn to talk about your things in terms of the results that you get and the benefits that come with it, rather than just saying this is a beautiful piece or this amazing writing did this. You want to be award-winning and time-saving and earning money, bringing business. So this section is actually one of the most important sections that is overlooked. I see it overlooked all the time. You want a really good about section that brings in some personality, because, you want to humanize yourself. People want to work with people, and they want to know that, frankly, you're not going to be a jerk, right? And they want to know that you're going to get along well with them or their team. I, in fact, years ago got a job based on the fact that I had something on my resume about the fact that I liked fish tacos. And the hiring manager was like, you made it through the cube just because you stood out. And that's what your about section can do for you by adding some personality and being honest. You know, and I talked about travel and, you know, my career, and I did position myself as an expert here, but I also brought in some photography and some things that just make me unique, and so show some personality. And then finally, the most important section is your contact section. So, you know, this little thing, add a date in terms of when you're taking on projects. That can add some scarcity, and people think that, you know, you're in high demand. It actually makes them want to book with you more. But the best thing I ever did for my business was I used this little button here. There's a company called Calendly, 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 I think. They have a free account, and you sync it up with your Google account, and people can come in and instantly book a consultation with you, right? And I had multiple people say that they signed up with me simply because I had that on my form, and they were so tired of doing the back and forth emailing stuff with all of these other, you know, designers. So those are just a few quick little tips for you that you can start implementing today if you have a website, if you're already a freelancer, and, you know, start to convert people better. And that's really about it. So when you promote your business, you want people to land on your website and really resonate with the content. And you want them to be saying, yes, this is the solution I need, or wow, I really like this person and I want to work with this writer, photographer, designer, whatever your specialty is. And you're only going to do that if you know who your ideal client really is and you provide value for them, a little bit like what I'm doing now. Providing value is also the best way to build relationships with strangers. So at the risk of overloading you by teaching you all this cool stuff, so I can provide as much value as I can so that hopefully we can build a relationship. And then maybe further down the line, you'll want to join one of the programs that I might be able to help you. Right. So if you want to grow your business, you want to spend as much time creating value for your future clients as possible, and you want to do it before they even interact with your website. It's going to become much easier for you to sell your services to someone who already feels like they know, like, and trust you. The know, like, and trust factor is big. So how I did that as a freelancer was by sharing valuable content via social media. I create content now as a coach, but when I was freelancing, all I really did was share content that was relevant to my potential clients and peers, usually on Buffer or via Buffer on Twitter, which I don't know how effective that is anymore, but at the time worked really well for me. I also volunteered a lot for related industry programs. I donated my time to good causes related to my field, and I attended events. I answered questions on Quora and things like that, which I do now with Facebook groups. So there are a million ways to add value before your client even gets to your webpage. And I don't care what services you offer, if you can understand this process and start building relationships with people and make it easy for them to understand what it is you're offering, you don't end up having to do all this sales and persuasion and price negotiation. It's gonna happen naturally. Clients are gonna want to come into your world and repay you for the value that you provide. So to sum up, if you want to start growing your business today, what you need to do is get really clear on who your client is. That's your target markup, and what you're offering them. That's your niche. So you want to make it easy for them to contact you. And then just start adding value everywhere you go and having conversations with people. You want to position yourself as an expert and the best solution to their problem.